answer, you know what I mean? And usually the answers come back within like a minute.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, well, say if you did 60, if you did one every minute, which I'm sure you can't, the averages can't be, but that's still you're not leaving your house, you're not spending any money on gas or whatever. Your phone, whether if you got like, because I guess you got like a computer, you have to have like two. Can you like talk on an iPhone and look up something in Encyclopedia Britannica?
I don't think you can.
No,
okay, yeah, so I guess you have to have two things, like a computer and a phone going, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because the person's got to get their information from somewhere, you know? And you just sit at your house and do that and try and ride out the wave. But this wave's going to last until 2011 probably.
Yeah,
it's not going to get better.
Well, I mean, I'm supposedly on they gave me a quote-unquote temporary layoff with the Priceline, but I really don't think I'm actually going to be going back there because it's going on 5 months and I still haven't heard anything. So I've been starting to look elsewhere because, unemployment's not going to last forever.
Wait, how long? I've never actually gone on unemployment, but how long don't they like extend it?
I can.
Pennsylvania, they extended it.
Yeah, I can file for extensions as time goes on. I mean, like I said, luckily my wife's employed with a pretty nice paying job for right now. So, we have a daughter. So obviously, with the cost of keeping her, and her doing things with her and stuff like that. Thank God for that because quite frankly, anymore, I don't know what we would do or, what we would do if I was the only one working in the household. And it's tough on a lot of families like that because a lot of families don't have the luxury of having, two people working in the same household.
Two
right
incomes.
Now. Yeah.
It's going to turn into almost a necessity.
Exactly.
Or one person having two jobs, and then you got the daycare, which is I don't know about you guys, but daycare in like my neighborhood is like $600 a month.
Oh yeah, it's expensive. It's I believe it would have been like $250 a week for
so that's $700. That's like $800 a month. That's nuts. I mean, how are you supposed to? It's like not. Look, I'll stay home with my kids. You know what I mean? Instead of having the hassle of going to a job and really you have the job to pay for daycare when you can really just spend the time with your kids yourself.
Well, that's one.
Which I think more parents should do.
Guys, that's actually what I did with my girls. Because whenever Sam and I split up, I had gone back to Texas, and for almost 6 years I lived off from $500 a month with no government assistance except for Medicare for my kids to go to the doctor. I did yards, I sewed, I did everything I could because I couldn't figure out how to do daycare and make some money and not have all of my income going towards someone else watching my kids. So, yeah,
right.
I lived off from $500 a month for almost 6 years.
Well, I'm a nurse. I had to get a second job.
Yeah, you nurse. You got the second job. Why? Short. Not a lot of people are doing like fixing up their rods and stuff like that now, are they?
Yeah, not a lot, but I mean, the hospitals are cutting hours too, so they've cut mine back where I've had to get something else.
Well, wow! How long did it take you to find something else?
Well, they say there's a 30-year of nursing shortages, but it's taken me over 6 months to be able to find the second one. So I don't know.
Yeah, I always heard that there was it's like nurses and school teachers they always need, but I don't know. I'm not a nurse or a school teacher, so it's not like I ever would apply for the position.
Well, look, Sandman,
I'm not qualified to do that.
Shane told me to tell you that he's going to for you to holler at him later. He's been trying to call you, but he guessed you were in England. So he said holler at him later on when you get done.
Yeah, okay, no problem. All right, Corey, let's clear the lines. Let's talk about something else. Pittsburgh, see you later. Peace.
All right, buddy.
See you later.
All right, everybody, thank you for calling in. Of course, we're going to continue on with the broadcast. I do want to let you know we've got people from all over the world in the chat room. We've got people in the United States as well as England and Canada in the chat room.
Okay,
right now.
well, find out how those people in the other parts of the world, how is it affecting their income? You know, how bad is the economic downturn? And
also, the Doodler wanted us to let you know that here in Canada it's about $7.50 to $12.50 for a movie ticket.
In Canadian dollars?
Yep.
Actually, that's why I never really go to Canada, so I don't know the conversion. How many Canadian dollars are in a dollar, or is it how many dollars are in a Canadian dollar?
I'm not sure.
What's the exchange rate? Somebody cha-cha it. You can cha-cha exchange rate, United States dollar, Canadian dollar, and it would tell you.
Yeah, actually,
I don't have my newspaper here with me, or because I came all the way upstairs, but I would tell you about my USA Today here. I don't like Canada that much anyway. It's too cold.
I did want to bring up your, the MySpace, of course, your old MySpace, if you any of you had it, which was myspace.com/official. Sandman MySpace was hacked and deleted. His new MySpace, of course, is myspace.com/the Sandman's last call. So just so everybody knows, add that page. So.
Yeah, look that page up.
Yeah, it's definitely something in the works. Of course, we've got a lot of other great shows we're working with on here. Of course, you're going to probably be having Gary Wolf on your show in the coming weeks, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, listen, like I said, your Rolodex is bigger than mine because I got too many kids to worry about.
Understandable.
Yeah, we'll get RVD on, we'll get Sabu on, we'll get Dreamer on, we'll get Stryker on. We'll get all anybody who I've worked at ECW.
Yeah.
I would have access to.
Definitely, I can understand that. Actually, have you been watching the basketball? Like, what's been going on?
Yeah, I think it's Carmel. It's going to be LeBron and Kobe going at it in the finals.
Yeah, I was surprised the Blazers actually made it into the finals.
They didn't make it into the finals.
Or not into the finals, but into the playoffs. I was surprised.
Yeah, all you needed was a 500 record to get there.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So that means they only had to be 41-41 to make the play, which I think is a joke. I think if you lose as many games as you win, I don't think you deserve to be in the playoffs. But the NBA wants revenue, and NBA they would wish that every series that they had would go the full all 7 games, because that generates a lot of money.
That's true.
A real lot of money for a town. You know what I mean? Like if Portland's playing at home against Denver or something like that, Carmelo Anthony's coming in. You know what I mean? That brings in a lot of revenue to a lot of people that work at that stadium.